In this video, we are going to do the Azure Policy Dashboard walkthrough. I'm on the Azure portal. Let's go to the policy. This is where you can see compliant and non-compliant resources. This is a dashboard. But what is essential when you work with the policy is basically the policy definition. There are a bunch of built-in policy initiatives and policy definition. You can see that definition type initiatives. Nothing but basically the set of policies, right? That's what we discuss. And there are individual policies as well, right? So you can pick up anything and just apply to the workload, and then workload will start getting evaluated against those policy. Let's say in this particular case you are interested in the allowed location policy. Search for that specific allowed location policy, click on that allowed policy. You can see like this, and then say assign policy. You select the scope. We selecting scope at the subscription level, but you can select a different scope such as resource group as well, right? But at subscription level you might say that only allowed locations are something specific. So you just basically select the scope, right? And scope can be management group as well. Okay. If any exclusion, you can exclude that, such as some specific resource group, right? Because of some specific things. Basically, sometimes you might want to exclude some of the monitoring resource group or something like that, right? Allowed location. And then what is essential, the parameter, right? Some policies has some parameter which you need to pass on. In this particular case, let's say this policy will say that okay, only Australia is location, that's where the resources can be deployed, and then you say review and create. Okay, that's how you go ahead and apply the policy. Similar thing you can do for the compliance, regulatory compliance. So let's go to the policy once again, and if you want to apply any regulatory compliance, such as in this case maybe NIST, that is what we will try. Let's refresh. Sometimes this portal is too slow actually, so it doesn't pop up very quickly sometimes. Let's go ahead and apply the FedRAMP regulatory compliance in this particular case, and then in this case you just select that one, and again you say any assign initiative. You can choose the scope. You can be very specific at the management group level like this, or you can select a specific subscription also, right? Or go to the resource group. And in this case as well, what is essential, if there are any parameters, you pass on the parameters. Nothing is there. And this is the area which you need to understand to some extent when you want to enforce some remediation by default. This is how some of the resources can get corrected if they are not in line with that particular initiatives. So at the time of assignment, it will prompt you whether you want to create a system assign manage identity, so that this manage identity will be used to correct the resources. Okay. This is one of the thing to understand, and usually I think if there is not much maturity within the system, I think you should avoid this. It is okay if you have a better maturity within the system, so that it can correct automatically some of the resource definition. And that's it. I think you'll come to know how many policies are there. Sometimes you have to go to the details, and you have to ensure that all the policies make sense to evaluate. And once those things are applied, whether at the subscription level or the management group level, then after 24 hours, this dashboard will be populated. Okay. There is a delay if you go ahead and correct some of the resources. Don't expect that policy will just go ahead and update the dashboard. You have to allow at least more than 24 hours in some cases. That is what I notice. If you want to kick up some kind of manual evaluation, I think there is something available over the internet as well. So you can do that so that you can quickly scan based on the some new policy that has been thrown or updated, something like that, right? So there is something available on the internet actually, and sometimes when you work with the support, they might provide you that kind of insight as well. Other than that, once you assign, this is where you will see that assignment. If you don't see the assignment, that means policy is not assigned. Just by looking into the definition does not mean that they are effective. You have to assign the policy, you have to assign the initiatives. Only then that makes sense. Only then the evaluation actually start against those policy and initiatives. Okay, and that's pretty much. You have to get to a depth to understand policy effect, policy definitions, right? And if you want to write your custom policies, you can do that, but that is for the advanced users. Okay, that's all pretty much in this video.